What's up, YouTube? I am Galidite74 here, bringing you our Week 7 battle of the IBA. In this battle, we are taking on Garchomp the God and his Lawrence Talonflames. I would like to apologize in advance for this video going up late. I've had an extremely busy weekend. I believe you will see this on Monday, if not earlier. Probably on Monday, though. I'm just getting a chance to record this now, so apologies for that. This is going to be a really fun battle. We're looking really good right now, with the 5-1 record, of course. But this battle is not going to be an easy one despite his record. I know his record is not the greatest, but if you see his team, it's going to be a pretty tough matchup. I'm going to go over his team now, and as I always do, I'm going to go over a team builder, and then we'll get into the battle. So his draft consists of Tapu Lele, Thundurus Incarnate, Terrakion with Z moves, Mega Alakazam, Arcanine, Kyurem, Empoleon with Z moves, Donphan, Drapion, Masquerain, and Dusclops. Now, what I expect him to bring is Tapu Lele, Mega Alakazam. He's got that double Psychic offense. Arcanine's definitely coming. There's no way Arcanine doesn't come, in my opinion. Same with Donphan. If Donphan doesn't come, then my Raikou kind of just sweeps house of his team. And I could see the Drapion coming. He might want to bring Masquerain for webs or something like that. And if he doesn't decide to bring Thundurus, he'll probably bring Terrakion. So that's what I think he's going to bring, and that's what his team is looking like. Very scary, a lot of offense on his team, while with some defense, of course, either bulky offense or just offense. So again, pretty scary. But I put together a team that I think is going to do pretty well. First Pokemon we're bringing is Mega Lopunny. Mega Lopunny is running Fake Out, Frustration, Drain Punch, and Heal Bell. Max Attack, Adamant Nature, 196 Speed. Skarmory with Iron Head, Protect, Stealth Rock, and Roost. Max HP, max special defense for the most part. Raikou, which is Choice Scarf, that originally did not have it scarfed, but its EVs are a little messed up because I actually didn't have a scarf on it. Like I said, I had Expert Belt, but I took it off because Mega Alakazam was kind of a problem, and I wanted to be able to outspeed it with something. So this is Raikou. Raikou's with Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, and Hidden Power Ice. I brought Latias with Dragonium Z, max special attack, basically max speed, Timid. Psychic Surf, Shadow Ball, Dragon Pulse. Dragonium Z is kind of risky with the Tapu Lele running around because he's definitely going to bring it. So there's that. But besides Tapu Lele, this thing's really going to nuke something. Hippowdon with Rocky Helmet, max HP, 220 defense with 36 speed for a little bit of general speed creeping. With Earthquake, Rock Slide, Toxic, and Slack Off. No Sandstream. And finally, we got Serena, max attack, a lot of HP, some speed, a little bit of bulk. It's got a lot of EVs. With Drop Kick, Knockoff, Rapid Spin, and Synthesis. I thought for the off chance he does bring Masquerain, I can get Masquerain out of the way and then Rapid Spin the webs away, because webs are kind of a problem with my team. That's why this Scarf on Raikou might be a little important, because they can still outspeed even after webs. And again, Latias, I didn't have the room to fit Defog on Latias. And plus, I really want rocks on his side of the field, so the Rapid Spin was basically there for that reason. Any other notes I wrote down? Again, the double Psychic's kind of a problem since Skarmory doesn't have the greatest special defense, and that's kind of the only good resist of Psychic I have on my team because Sharpedo can't take a hit for its life. And Latias too, but my Latias is more offensive, and plus he's got Moonblast on Tapu Lele, so that could be a problem. Another problem I noticed is Kyurem if it's Specs. I don't see it coming. I could see it coming, but I don't see it being Specs, so I mean, if Kyurem... That's why I didn't really make a big deal about it. So that's it for the team builder. I tried to skim through it as fast as I possibly could without going into too much detail. But now we're going to head into the battle. Okay, so as you can see, he did bring the Kyurem and he did bring the Masquerain. So I'm seeing webs, of course, obviously, and I'm kind of a little scared of this Kyurem now because if it is Specs, I didn't think it was even going to come, but if it did, if it's Specs, it's going to be a problem. But he leads off with Tapu Lele, and I lead off with Serena. This is a perfect lead because Serena doesn't do too much now besides spin away webs. And I led because I just want to knock off something, and Mega Alakazam just doesn't want to take a knockoff, so his Mega's kind of gone there. So he switches out right away and goes into his Drapion, which is totally fine. I can knock off whatever item this thing wants to be knocked off, and it turns out this thing was actually Life Orb, so it was good to get rid of that. Less damage now. I have a dedicated switch into Hippowdon, so I'm just going to switch into Hippowdon. Drapion, it could have Aqua Tail, but since it's no boost, it's not boosted, it won't do as much, but he does have Swords Dance. I know he does set up a lot, so it didn't shock me too much. Now Aqua Tail could hurt a little bit, especially if it's crit, because Sniper is a bitch. But he just goes for the knockoff, and it's going to do a chunk of damage, but since I do have the Rocky Helmet, it's going to do a lot to him as well. And I just went straight for the Earthquake, because I didn't want to mess around with this thing, as he is just going to drop dead. So we're off to a really good start right off the bat. We killed the Drapion, and we're up 5-6. One thing I was really shocked about was that he didn't bring the Donphan. So that's telling me my Raikou can kind of go really ham on his team, except for the Kyurem, of course, because the Kyurem with my set, I can't really touch it too much. So besides that, my Raikou just kind of just does his team good, especially with the Scarf. Here, I go just for the Rock Slide because, you know, Rock Slide Masquerade 4 times. He did the really smart play and switched out into Arcanine, getting another Intimidate off. So, you know, that was good for him. I was predicting the web, so like he could have killed me. Masquerade could have killed me if he had Hydro Pump. Sorry, I can't talk for some reason. But, you know, I don't think he does, thanks to that switch out. But he's doing the Cycling Intimidate game. This time I went for Slack Off because I didn't think Arcanine could do anything to touch me. Hippowdon is mainly here just for Arcanine at this point, so I had no reason to switch out. During my prep, I was really, really scared of this double Intimidate as he is doing right now, so he did prep pretty well around that. I'm stuttering like crazy. I actually really apologize, guys. I'm so sorry. I click Rock Slide here because, again, sticky webs, and I wanted to break a potential sash this thing had, and even at -3, that Rock Slide did a decent chunk of damage. Now, he's just going to go for the Bug Buzz. I click Toxic because I can just click Toxic and then Slack Off and stall this thing out until it dies. That was kind of the game plan there, since the Rock Slide could miss. It's not 2-co, so, you know. And he could still have Hydro Pump anyway. So here, he's going to take a little bit more damage from Toxic. I'm just going to click Slack Off now and spam it. However, he does make a switch out, and he switches into Kyurem, which is, you know, that's kind of a problem because I don't know what this Kyurem set is yet. The good thing is, though, my Hippowdon is going to be at full health now thanks to the Slack Off. So that's pretty good, and my Serena is still around so I can Rapid Spin the webs away. Now, this turn is the dumbest turn I think I've ever made, ever. Because I switch into my Skarmory, which is my quote-unquote switch into Kyurem. As he goes for the Ice Beam, it's just still going to chunk me. If it's Specs, it does over half, which is a serious problem. And what do you know, it is Specs. And even better, I get Frozen. So, this was really, really stupid because my Hippowdon is here for where he brought was for the Arcanine and the Drapion. Hippowdon already took down Drapion. So if I could deal with Arcanine offensively, then it won't be a problem. So switching on to Skarmory was a really stupid play because I just switched right back into Hippowdon. It's just going to drop dead from this Ice Beam. So that was really stupid. The freeze is kind of unfortunate, but you'll see on later that it doesn't really matter too much. Again, now I have to deal with this thing offensively because I have no defensive switch into this Kyurem. I'm going to make a risky play and just click my Dragonium Z here, as he just makes another good play, and he switches into Masquerade just to sack it off. So, you know, he's going to Intimidate. It doesn't really matter. The good thing is we do get to see this awesome animation. I love Dragonium Z so much. Devastating Drake, good animation. But even though we are up 5-4, things are not really looking too good because I still need to find a way to get the sticky webs off the field. My Skarmory is dead weight, and Skarmory was my switch-in for the Tapu Lele, the Skarmory, and the Kyurem, quote. So with Skarmory basically kind of dead weight, we have a serious problem basically. So again, Masquerade is just going to go down. My switch-ins are limited, so he's just going to send in Tapu Lele. I'm pretty sure this thing's Scarf. In my prep, I'm thinking this thing's definitely Scarf for the Mega Lopunny. So the good thing is, if he is Timid Scarf, he's got a 6.3% chance to kill me, so I can just fire off a Shadow Ball and chip this thing down. Unfortunately, this thing is modest, I think. I never asked him, but if it's timid, I'm going to throw this computer out the window. But if it's modest, then, you know, he just knocked us out there. So that really sucked, because that was my best way of hitting the Kyurem at that point. So now I have to Rapid Spin these things away. He's definitely Scarf, obviously. That showed it. It outsped the Latias, and Latias was supposed to outspeed. I go for Rapid Spin, so Mega Lopunny still has a chance to do things in this battle. Same with the Raikou as well. So, and with this leftover recovery, I can most likely take another Moonblast unless it's like a really, really high roll. So I can then knock off this Tapu Lele's Choice Scarf. And we actually get a roll in our favor. We're living on 2 health and getting this knockoff off. So now Mega Lopunny can just kind of revenge this thing at any point in the game. Since he's probably going to go for Moonblast again, I really just don't have that switch in. That's just not there. So I'm just going to let my Serena go down. Serena, again, didn't really have too much to do in this matchup besides get rid of webs and knock things off, which it did. So, you know, good job, Serena. I'm pretty proud of it. Now I have my chance to bring in Raikou. He still has his 4 Mons, and I'm thinking Thunderbolt is not guaranteed to kill, but Shadow Ball is. And Shadow Ball does a lot to his team. So I decide to click Shadow Ball as he goes into the Arcanine. Now, Arcanine, is pretty scary now because I don't have a defensive switch in. Hell, I don't really have a defensive switch into anything. So a Shadow Ball is going to go off. I kind of wish I wasn't Scarf. Kind of wish I do because like Scarf is a big deal for that Mega Alakazam. But, you know, I have to go for a Shadow Ball. I can't switch out. I don't know what this thing's going to do. I can live any hit, though, unless it's like... yeah, I can live any hit from this Arcanine, basically. And, unfortunately, he gets a critical hit with the Bulldoze. Now, this really did matter. It mattered and it didn't matter. It definitely mattered because now I have no way of... That Mega Alakazam just finishes off my Skarmory and my Mega Lopunny now. So luckily he was kind enough to give me this differential point right here. As he just stays in with the Arcanine, and I'm just going to revenge this thing with Frustration, I believe. Is that what I went for? It doesn't really matter. Yeah, Frustration. But now he can just bring in Mega Alakazam and finish off my team. That really mattered because Raikou would have lived it. Later on after the battle, he did tell me that was banded. And even with a band, it would have lived it. And then I would have killed it with Shadow Ball. And... it just would have depended on what he would have brought in after that. Like, if he brought on Tapu Lele, it died. Alakazam, I would have had to switch out, sack the Skarmory, which is why I even saved the Skarmory in the first place. It's really good sack because, you know, it's a sack. And Serena and Hippowdon weren't really good sacks compared to Skarmory, because if Skarmory were just to so happen thaw out, you know, I could Protect up, maybe, because I do have Protect on the set. Protect, Roost. I do love that Psychic, see what I mean? So, you know, a little leftover recovery, not really going to matter. But yeah, if he brought in like Kyurem, I could have still sacked, and then like Mega Lopunny could have Drain Punched it, and that kind of would have been it. So, and I live with Choice Specs Ice Beam too, so there's that. But anyway, yeah, Skarmory's gonna go down, and I basically just lost this battle at this point. I do a Fake Out, but it's not gonna matter because I gave this Alakazam Sturdy, because you know why not? That's kind of the game. I'm really bummed about the way I played. I feel like I prepped pretty good. The Kyurem kind of went by my mind a little too much, but everything else was just. I played bad. Some rolls might not have gone in my favor, but overall it was just I played really bad. I apologize to you guys. So that's the game. We're gonna lose. I think it was 3-0, I believe. 3 Alakazam, Lele, and yeah, okay, it was 3-0. So we lost 3-0 to Austin GG to Garchomp the God. Make sure to go check out his link as well as every other coach in the description below. We dropped the 5-2, and you know, I would usually be pretty positive about it, but next week we face a Aron, and he is the #1 seed in the league, being 6-1. So that's going to be a very interesting battle. By the way, shout out to Aaron, for making the Citra video as always. His video is always beautiful, and Nick for joining my team because Nick is an absolute goat. So there's that. Thank you again for watching. Make sure to stay tuned for next week. I'm going to try and get it up on time, and that'll be it. Have a fantastic day, YouTube.